Alright, looking at 7.4, so we're looking at bank recs again, however this time we bring in overdrafts and dishonored checks. So on November the 1st, 2016, the records of pulsating PEX showed a positive bank balance of 2k. The firm's cash journals for November 2016 prior to receiving the bank statement were totaled as follows. So our business has cash receipts journal of 27,400 and cash payments journal of 29,500. So the bank statement for November 2016 showed that at 30th November 2016, the gym had a balance of 4,435. So that's the bank's perspective, and revealed the following. So check 8751 for 2,300 and check 8763 for 615 had not been presented. So essentially, whoever it is, doesn't give a name, but let's say Bill hadn't been into the bank and actually given those checks in. So the next one, a check from A Weed for 484, including $44 GST, had been debited on the bank statement because it had been dishonored. So you would have read through chapter 7, which gives us a bit of theory and background into what I guess we're looking at. A dishonored check is a check that I guess didn't have any money in the bank. So A Weed, in this example, he gave a check for $484 but didn't have that amount in his bank account, and therefore Bill or whoever owns Pulsating PEX Gym couldn't redeem that $484. Interest of $245 being credited in the bank statement. 6,970 banked on 29th of November 2016 did not appear on the bank statement. Check 8778 for $78 had been wrongly entered in the cash payments journal as $87, so a manual error here. And here it's also just a bit of a time delay between, so it could take maybe 2 to 3 business days to process that amount, and as such hasn't flowed into this bank statement. And lastly, bank fees and charges amounting to $50 were debited in the bank statement. So Bill, who we're using in this example, let's say he, I guess, wasn't aware of these charges until he received the bank statement. So this ties into our first question of A, calculate the bank balance according to the cash records of Pulsating PEX Gym as at 30th November 2016. So the first thing we have to do is look at our receipts. So how much are our receipts for? So if we go up here, we've got 27,400. 27,400. And what do we have to look at? So we have to go through and see what other receipts need to be, I guess, registered on our perspective. So the first one is a check from A Weed for $484. So why do we have to look at this? Because in our statement we've already included this. However, it's been dishonored, so we have to, I guess, take back this and make it a negative receipt. So we're minusing out this $484. The next receipt we have to look at is our interest. So where is our interest? Just below. So don't do that. So our interest of $245 being credited in the bank statement. So $245 in the bank from interest. However, we were unaware that there was interest, just because I guess Bill or whoever owns the gym wasn't aware of that, so we need to now include that interest. So all we do for our receipts is 27,400 minus our dishonored check plus the interest we gained over that period, and that gives us $27,161. The next thing we have to do, though, as we would have looked at from chapter 6, is we need to less our payments. So similar start, we take our cash payments journal, so 29,500, and we need to go through once again. So what payments are we looking at that we're yet to include? So there is our mistake here. So check 8778 for $78 has been wrongly entered in the cash payments journal as $87. So we need to actually take away this $9 as we've over accounted for, we've just manually entered in the wrong amount. And there is one other we need to include in here. So let's see, bank fees and charges amounting to $50 were debited in the bank statement. So as always, when we look at the bank statement, how the bank provides us their perspective. So debited means our bank balance is actually decreasing. So minus $50. So maybe I'll just put in what these actually mean. So 29, so that's our payments, and this is our error, and here is our fees, and just above 245 was our interest, and 484 was our this honored check, and all pretty straightforward. Cool. So that once is totaled up, we're pretty good to go. So we go equals our 29,500 minus our $9 plus our $50, which gives us 29,541. So here we have a bit of a discrepancy. We take that and take our receipts minus our payments. That gives us a deficit of $2,380. So some of you may have finished there, however there is one extra step. So we need to also include our opening balance. So don't stop at the negative 2,380, we also need to include our balance of 2K. So when going through, it's probably quite handy to just, I guess, highlight so you know each step and what to include or what you are yet to include. So final that, and plus our opening balance, which gives us a deficit of 380. So that is our bank balance. So bank balance negative 380, so a deficit. So B, just quickly as I need to go through, finish this within 15 minutes. So bank reconciliation is our next one. So prepare a bank rec statement for Pulsing Facts at 30th November 2016. So bank reconciliation as at 30th November 2016. So very similar to, I guess, our balance sheets from earlier in the term. So how do we do our bank rec? So we need to go through and, I guess, match up and make sure that it all matches together. So our records match what is on the bank's statement. So first things first is balance as per our bank statement. So what does our bank statement say? Our bank statement says that we've got 4,443, or was it 4,435? So that's a debit, so it's actually saying it's a negative, so we'll put debit next to it, just so it's nice and clear. So when we do this, we need to, I guess, then take our deposits out. So deposits not yet credited. So are there any deposits that are yet to be credited? So let's see, we have our 6,970 yet to be banked, so yet to appear on our bank statement. So 6,970, so that'll bring us up nicely. And what is the difference between that and that? That minus that, just because the debit is actually negative, once again because we're looking at it from our bank's perspective, so that actually is a deficit. or an overdraft. So 2,535, we're now in positive. However, we need to add another step to this. So we need to take out our unpresented checks. So we have two unpresented checks here, 8751 for 2,300. Checks. So our first check is for, that's 8751, and that is for 2,300. Actually, let's put it across just so it's like that. So 2,300, and our other check for $615. So 8763 for $615. So what is our total here? And we get $2,915. So that is pretty much it for our bank rec, except the last part of, yes, just totaling it up and saying as per our business records, balance as per business records. So all we have to do now is take that, and so that minus that, that, all we have to do is take our statement minus our total of unpresented checks, which once again gives us our, I guess, balance, which matches up to what we have in our books now. So a bank rec is now complete as they both marry up. Alternatively, there are other ways to, I guess, calculate this. You could also go balance as per bank statement and add your unpresented checks and then less deposits not yet credited, which would also give you 380. So as long as you get to that deficit or overdraft of $380, it really doesn't matter too much. Last question. So explain how the dishonored check should be recorded in the cash journals of pulsating PECs. So I touched on this a little bit before. So a dishonored check, for this question, you'd have to just give a brief explanation of what a dishonored check was. How it should actually be treated is as a negative receipt, as I guess it's being recorded into the cash receipts, but it needs to offset the original entry. So if we don't offset that and include a negative receipt, ultimately the bank balance will be out of adjustment. So all you need to do there is explain what a dishonored check is, and then just tie in how a negative receipt will actually be recorded in the cash journals. Hope that helps. Any questions, feel free to send them through.